I want to tell you about the single biggest crypto trade I've ever taken. Literally one trade that saved my entire portfolio. Here's what happened. When FTX collapsed, everyone wrote Solana off. The headline said Solana was dead. Influencers convinced me that Solana was finished, and the price of Solana went down to $8. It was a black day. The day we realized that FTX was actually holding most of the Solana tokens, and that now those tokens were actually going to get into the hands of the liquidators. You know what I did that day? I bought more Solana. It was one of the hardest trades I've ever made. Buying when everyone was convinced that Solana was dead. But despite all the noise, I knew that Solana was the fastest and cheapest chain on the market. And so instead of selling into the noise, what I did was I stuck with the fundamentals. And today, that trade is up over 20,000%. Today again, even though the price of Solana is up over 2,000% this cycle, I'm actually buying Solana again. This time though, it's not because of the FUD. It's probably the exact opposite. It's because of the fundamentals. And it's because I want to back the winners of the cycle, especially at a point where the winners are lagging where they need to be in the cycle. I'm CryptoManRan, and this is not the first unpopular trade I've taken. In fact, I share all my trades on this channel, so if you want to stay up to date with my every move, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because on this channel, you never know when a video is going to drop. And when it does, it could be that one video that saves your portfolio. Today I'm going to show you the top 5 reasons why I'm adding Solana to my portfolio right now. I'm ignoring the news, I'm ignoring the FUD, and I'm taking one of my biggest positions. Here's why. Let's start off with the first reason. And it's probably the most obvious reason, because it's the same reason why I bought Solana at $8. It's the fundamentals. And when it comes to fundamentals, there's really no comparison. Solana is the fastest and cheapest chain in the market that actually has adoption. I mean, just look at these numbers. Solana is currently doing nearly 85 million transactions a day. That's 85 times the number that ETH is doing. And the average transaction cost is not like the transaction costs on ETH. The average transaction cost is under 1 cent. Solana is the dominant layer 1. I mean, it combines high speed and low costs. And so that's made it the perfect chain for retail users. And you can see that in the stats. I mean, right now, 2.5 million active users a day, while Ethereum has like 500,000. Even my non-crypto friends know about Solana. I mean, they have phantom wallets. Some of them were trading NFTs and shitcoins back in 2021. And now they're back, only this time, they're trading meme coins. And it's not only about meme coins. It's meme coins, it's DeFi, it's 𝗕PIN, and even internet capital markets. All of these things are happening on Solana. Right now, Solana apps generate $7 million a day. And that's more than any other chain. I mean, Ethereum apps are only generating $3 million a day. And Solana is doing double that. If you're building an app, naturally, you want to be in the chain that has the most users and the highest app revenue. And that's why most app developers are going to Solana. And so the first reason is just pretty much the fundamentals. No one can compete. The next reason is around money and flows. Because money and flows are what really drives markets. And you can see it in this cycle, because this cycle is not like the other cycles. In the last cycle, the market was small. And so retail investors and small funds, they could move markets. But this cycle, the market structure changed completely. In this cycle, the market structure is driven by institutional flows. And what moves money right now is tokens that have access to Wall Street and TradFi capital. And you can see it in the flows. The tokens that are attracting the money are the ones that have the ETFs and the treasury companies. I mean, just look at ETH.
To me, Ethereum's having its Bitcoin 2017 moment again. And to give perspective, in 2017, Bitcoin was under 1,000. But that was the year when Wall Street discovered that the narrative of Bitcoin is digital gold.
Just look at Bitcoin.
Banks are going to custody Bitcoin. Bitcoin has gotten through its riskiest period. The accounting has been corrected.
They aren't relying on the $4 trillion crypto market caps. They're tapping into the $90 trillion of Wall Street capital. Now, Solana doesn't have a real ETF yet. And in fact, it doesn't even have real treasury companies. But that's the opportunity. I want to buy before Wall Street gets in. And I want to sell when Wall Street gets you. In fact, I want to sell to the Wall Street guys. Right now, Solana have a couple of ETFs that are waiting for approval, and the approval should come somewhere around October. We also saw some announcements for some big treasury companies coming in to buy a whole lot of Solana. So it feels like it's imminent. It feels like the herd's coming, and that's why I'm buying now. Because when the herd gets you, I'm going to be dumping my tokens all over them. The third reason is linked to the market cycle, and it's really pretty simple. Even though the fundamentals seem different, this cycle is playing out exactly the same as every other cycle. In fact, it's so freaky, it's actually playing out to the month. And in all previous market cycles, the market followed the same pattern. First it's Bitcoin, then ETH runs, and then the large cap alts. Now, where we are in the cycle right now, Bitcoin's had a run. ETH is running hard. What's it going to be next? The large cap alts, right? And what's the best large cap alt out there? Solana. And so I'm not going to wait. I'm going to get in now because once again, when the herd arrives, I want to be selling to the herd and not buying in the frenzy when they arrive. That's the third reason. I'm simply just looking at the market cycle. The fourth reason is the charts. And the charts don't lie because charts are just charting human emotions. And human emotions are the same in every cycle, right? Right now, when I look at the charts, specifically, I'm looking at the SOL BTC chart, which is comparing the price of SOL to the price of BTC. What you can see is that the price is pushing against the 50 and the 200-week moving average. Every single time in the past that Solana has broken above the 50-week moving average against Bitcoin, what followed wasn't just a move. It was a face-melting breakout. And if you look at the charts, there's the setup again. Very, very soon, retail will wake up. And when they do, this chart is going to break. And that's going to be compounded by institutional buying. And when that happens, I want to be in way, way, way before. And so that's, once again, why I'm buying now before the herd arrives. The last reason is around community. Actually, no. It's probably more around culture. Solana has this fighting degen culture. It's a really big protocol, but it's got a startup mentality. I've been to the Breakpoint, I've been to DevCons, and I've seen the people building. These guys are the smartest people in the world. And they're not just scientists. They're tenacious operators. People that I trust to weather any storm out there. It's basically a global movement with a startup mentality powering a big global protocol. And you can't take any bets against so much brain power and such a killer culture. You just can't take a bet against that. And you can see it on the results. Most of the winning apps out there are built on Solana. The reason for that is because these startup builders, they're experimenting on the chain. Most of the experiments fail, but the ones that succeed are the ones that are changing the blockchain space forever. DeFi, Deepin, meme coins, pump fund, they're all happening on Solana. That's the power of the network effect. The more users a protocol has, the more devs it attracts. And the more devs they attract, the more killer apps get built on the chain. And the more killer apps that get built on the chain, the more users they have. That network effect is the most powerful effect in the world. And you can't deny that Solana has that network effect. So while some people think that they've missed the Solana run for the cycle, I'm not listening to any of the noise. I'm just focusing on the fundamentals again. And I've showed you the top 5 reasons why I'm adding Solana to my portfolio today, before the herd arrives. Now listen, if you want to add Solana to your portfolio, I've got the best exchange deal in the world. If you open an account on any of our 2 partner exchanges below, they'll open up a free $1,000 Solana position for you. All you need to do is sign up with the links below and follow the easy steps. But guys, it's limited to the first 200 users. So you need to act fast. And you probably also need to move fast if you want to catch the Solana trade, because we're in the last part of the crypto cycle and things are about to get super aggressive. If you wait for the herd to get in, it's going to be too late. When the herd gets in, you want to be selling to them. You need to have conviction in your thesis, or in our thesis, and you need to take the trade, especially if it doesn't feel right. Because those trades where it doesn't feel right are where all the returns are made. Now remember, if you want to make the best possible returns in this cycle, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, because on this channel, you never know when a video is going to drop. I'm CryptoManRan, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, trade well, my friends.